Well, we got some more random, strong opinions coming in here. Somebody just had one about virtual dating where they thought that I don't get the connection. It's not even really dating. So what about this random, strong opinion? They said, go ahead and take your social media break. You don't have to announce it. Nobody cares, and nobody's going to notice when you make your inevitable return 2 days later.
It really is something else. I'm taking a break.
Do people still do that?
Yes, they do. They really do. And you go, how do you not know it's the wrong move? Especially when you do come back in 2 days. And I don't think anyone cares.
This person said, if you're going to slide into my DMs, obviously looking for some sneaky naughty time, at least have the wits to change your profile pic to something that doesn't also include your wife and young kid in it.
Yeah, sleazy.
That is sleazy and careless, big dummy. Now, this is an interesting thought. I don't know if you do this in your chip game. I've heard the whole thing when it comes to eating a burger, you flip it and you eat it upside down. They're saying when you open a bag of chips, you always flip it the last minute from where it's been sitting because that way you get the most flavorsome chips right away.
I will try that out.
I'd never heard of that chip hack. That's true because I guess they're saying all the yummy crumbs and everything and the powder starts to reside down on the bottom and it just marinates those chips. So if you flip it real quick before you open it, you'll get those chips first.
I've heard the same thing about pizza too. If you don't cut it and you get it without the cuts from the place, it's supposed to taste a little bit better, crisper, fresher. I don't know how accurate that is, but I know some people order a pizza with no slices whatsoever.
Makes some sense because as the cut lines happen, that might cool and make it a little bit tougher and not as good and as hot.
But to me, though, now you got to cut it. Just give me the pizza.
It does create another problem. If you have a good little pizza cutter and you're good at it, then yeah, I can see that. If not, then you're right. It does. I don't think it'd make a massive difference. Now, this is an interesting thought. Somebody's random strong opinion. They say it's not happy belated birthday. It should be belated happy birthday because the birthday isn't late. You are. I think I do say that. Happy belated birthday. I'm like, you're right. It should be belated happy birthday.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, it's semantics, and that's somebody with a lot extra time to think.
See, like when I got called out yesterday for, it's not 1,000%. You can only give 100%, not 1,000%.
Yeah, some people, that's a massive pet peeve. That is a definite random strong opinion. I know my wife has it. When you're with a needy, thirsty friend for attention and you give them what they need, but then they just want to take it from you, I'm out. Okay.
What does that mean?
I think it's just saying that is someone that is an emotional drain on them. And when you give into it, it's like they just don't have the emotional bandwidth to continue with them as a friend.
Well, I think, too, you got to be careful if it's just all of your drama. Now, you got to vent to your friends. I think that's very healthy. But if that's all you're doing, it can get draining.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. People who just say they have a phobia of something just want attention. Just say you're afraid of that specific thing. Don't treat it like it's some kind of diagnosis you went to a clinic for. Okay, but you notice, like, for instance, if you have a fear of heights because you get close to something that is high and you are trembling at the knees and you're paralyzed with fear and can't move, do you actually have to go someplace and get an official diagnosis?
I think for jobs and all that kind of stuff, it's better to get all that stuff on paper and diagnosed.
Yeah.
Because, I think it is important.
One thing I've noticed is I think a lot of people self-diagnose OCD or ADHD.
I think you are right about that. You got to go see a doctor.
Yes.
And the other thing, too, is if you don't have those kind of issues, you're not going to really understand them, which I do get. Mm-hmm. But some, like to your point, I am that kind of person that my legs will get paralyzed and I'll start to not be able to move. Now, for someone who walks up on heights and doesn't have that, they're like, suck it up, buddy. Mm-hmm. It's just a height. You're not going to fall. But to me, it's the end of the world. It's just, you'd be lucky you don't have that.
Yeah. Have you ever conquered a phobia that you had? I used to be afraid of needles, and I've kind of conquered that. And I'm wondering if I really attacked the fear of heights that I have, my inability to function at heights, because my knees lock up too, man. I can't go up that water slide that they have at Rapids without my knees locking up and I'm crawling up to the top.
The one thing that I think I did beat or got way better, I used to have really bad OCD. I'm talking the kind where if something was off on a line,
Yeah.
I'd have to take it, remove it from the line. If something was hanging off the counter and it was just hovering over, I'd have to move it past a line. I'd do things in 3. Turn up my volume on on the radio. 1, 2, 3. Always up, never down.
Right.
It was exhausting to live that way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it anymore. So I really tried to beat that.
And you feel like you did, or at least you minimized it?
It's manageable now, because when that starts to creep back in, I go, dude, what you're doing right now does not control anything. It's just your own little weird voice saying, yeah, go up.
You capture those thoughts.
You capture them, and then you kind of squash them right there and say, dude, you almost have to give yourself a pep talk.
Yeah, right.
But you have to notice it too.
Okay.